Hello everyone, it's David Patikin with Property Provider, and in today's video, we're going to be going over the checklist used for listing a property for sale. Now, in no matter what industry you're in, a successful business has a process and step-by-step checklist that they should be using in order to make every transaction successful, and they know that it's the way that it works, and they're not just second guessing which route is the next one to take next. Like, for example, let me just say, whenever you go to Starbucks, they have the same process and checklist that they use. Okay, you're in line, you order, they take your order, they write it on the cup, they put it in the side for whenever it's ready. Now, whenever they're making your drink, they're not guessing how many pumps of caramel or whatever they're putting into the drink. No, they have a process for each drink, and every time you go to Starbucks, or let's just even say McDonald's, you have the same experience. It's the same flavor, and you have the same process whenever you go in and get out. And you should have the same process and checklist that you do for your business, whether it's real estate, whether it's insurance, whatever you're in. So that's what I'm going to be going over. I want to touch on it. There was a hair in the air. I caught it. But I'm going to touch on some of the points over here. I don't want to go too deep into it because this video would be so long. So what I have to go over it with me is my laptop. So let me just go over that real quick. The first and most important thing, I really want to highlight this. Actually, I'll make a video on this next week, is properly pre-qualifying your seller. Okay. Now, I've lost a few deals in the past because I didn't properly qualify the seller. And what my mistake was, I didn't set the right expectations of what the process was. I didn't show them step by step what was going to be next. And pretty much because of that, the escrow fell out and we couldn't close a deal because they weren't properly qualified. Okay, so seller, the pre-qual form is most important. I'll go over that next week with you guys. Another thing, secure the appointment, obviously, send a calendar invite. You want to have a title report. Now that is such a big thing. Having a title report when you go on your listing presentation really makes you stand out. I've had so many deals where I didn't have the title report until we were already in escrow. And I can't tell you how many times where a violation came up on title and now we can't close the deal and we already wasted 2-3 months on this deal that we thought was so sure. So remember that. Have a title report ready for your listing presentation. Okay, another thing, you want to have a net sheet. You want to have your escrow company make a net sheet for whatever percentage you're taking out, whatever the closing costs are and everything, and the price that you will list the property for. And when you meet with your seller, you're going to sit down with them and say, this is exactly how much you are going to net whenever we sell your home. Now that's another thing that sets you aside and puts you at a higher standard of professionalism. Rather than secondhand guessing what they might net at the closing, you're gonna sit down and tell them exactly how much will go into their pocket. So that's one other thing that's very important. Obviously, you wanna have your CMA, your comparative market analysis. And then once you get the listing, you wanna have a funnel or an Excel sheet that you put the properties that you have listed or an escrow in, obviously. You want to have it scheduled for having your pictures taken, having the sign put out. You want to have a lockbox and know when is a good time for you to show the property. Really, that's one of the things when you sit with them, have that expectation set. Hey, I'm going to show your home. I know you have a family, you have other things going on, but when would be the best time for me to show your home? I'll call you at this time and this time weekly and give you updates on your home and how it's going with the market. And whether I have no updates or I have a bunch of people trying to buy your house, I want to let you know. I'm going to call you and give you an update regardless, so you know I'm on top of it. Now that's what sets you aside again. Now, now the listing is active. You're gonna be thinking, what's your marketing? This should be part of your checklist. Now, some different ways you could go at it is have an open house, just listed calls, call the neighborhood, right? You could do Facebook posts, Instagram posts. You could do door knocking, flyer listing, and then update it on your CRM. And that's basically it. I want to keep this video as short as I can. I could go so much more in depth onto my checklist, and I actually have a Excel sheet that I'll be happy to share with anyone. So if you are more interested and you really want to automate your business and be the most organized and professional standard higher than the rest of the people in your area, you should have a checklist, and I'll be happy to share that with you. Send me a message and let's go close some deals, guys. Again, David Patigan, property provider, and I'll see you next time.